I'm going to test two of the SOFIRN Minis SC13s. The one on the left, the green one, has the SC13 519A version, and the one on the right is the original black SST40 emitter version. These things are the exact same tubes about them and have seem to be the same lenses on them too. What I'm going to do is test them for how hot they get and see how long they run at turbo before they kick down. The green one is meant to be a little bit warmer with it. It runs at about 5000K, and the one on the right runs around 6 to 6500K on it, a little bit whiter light. This is softer, and it tends to give a little bit more natural color with it. It doesn't throw quite as far, but it gives a better feel if you're out just walking on rough surfaces, that sort of thing, whereas this one is meant to be more of a thrower type versus a flood, wider light, and you're looking at about probably 1100 lumens with this one. The black one's got 1300 lumens. This one only throws about 150 meters, whereas this one throws a little further out with a hotter center beam at around 217 meters is what they have in their stats with it. So what I'm going to do is turn them on and then double click them onto turbo and check the temperatures. I checked them to begin with. They're 68 about degrees, around 70 after me holding them. So 68. Leveling off a little bit. So to start this, I'm going to check their temperatures periodically, and we're going to look and see how long it takes before it ramps down on them. They say they both should get around 2 minutes before turbo kicks down to where it runs at more at a high rate, but I'm pretty sure they'll drop below high also. It's sort of not super easy to tell exactly where they're at, but with this darker background here, you should be able to see the color ramp down as they move. So I'm just going to start the timer and then click these on. I darkened the room a little bit where you'll be able to see the light change better. I'm going to start it now. Both are on turbo. $78, $81. They both have the same body and just different emitters, but seems like the lens is the same. There shouldn't really be any differences in them other than just the emitters and how much light that makes. I'm not sure if they have a little differences in the software, how they possibly limit where the cutoff points are and drop down in the light brightness. It's hard to tell, but I'll just check it every once in a while and we see how it goes. 97, 99 on the SST40. They should kick down sometime around now. I believe they both dropped down some. I'll have to go back and look at the video good and try to find a time point for both. I'm going to check the temperature at 2 minutes and see how hot they've gotten. $103, 105. 102. 104. So it seems like they must have kicked down and temperature dropped just a little bit, but usually with time they'll gradually work their way back up, even though it may drop down to high or medium. Probably medium with these is probably the equivalent of the drop down. They'll eventually start heating back up. (102), 104. So 102 and 104 at about 3 minutes. You can sort of cut the time down to where I check every few minutes and see what the temperature is, where you don't have to set through the whole thing. And at those jumps, if the lights changed at all, you should be able to see it better. Doing a 5-minute check now. 105.6, 107.2. The SST40 seems to be running just slightly hotter than the 519 emitter. Not a whole lot of difference between the two. I'm gonna let it run, check back in again at 10 minutes and see how it does, and probably shut it off there. Temperature seems to be regulating. You can see if there's any color or brightness change in here. Go from there, and that probably be the final check. Doing the final check at 10 minutes. So it's gradually worked its way up to about 112 degrees. Yeah, this one just slightly more, about a degree more. So at the 10-minute mark, they gradually work their way up, but haven't gotten a whole lot hotter. The beams seem to have tapered off a little bit, but they're both holding pretty strong. They haven't dropped, I don't think, anywhere below the about the medium level, so they're holding pretty strong for such a small flashlight. I'm not sure exactly how they're regulated as far as temperature or internal software. I'm feeling like it's the temperature is what it's going by, to how it drops the output of the light. But both of them hold up really well. I set the camera at a fixed lighting on it so it wouldn't change as the lights changed on here and wouldn't give you a false look at the lights. But they both held up. They're both putting out a good strong beam. 11.5 minutes now. Not sure if they're going to get much hotter than they are here. They seem to still be creeping up a couple of degrees. Most people aren't going to have a small light like this on any longer than 10 minutes or so. It's probably not the best dog walking type light, but it's more of a quick use light, and just to keep in your pocket to hold on to it and be able to pull it out whenever you really need it. Both these lights seem to be well built, and no differences in the build quality, just the emitters with them. If you're, like I said, if you're walking around in the woods, I'd probably go with the 519 version versus the SST40. With that little bit softer, warmer color to it, you can see the bumps and undulations as you're walking along, less likely to trip, that sort of thing. Whereas the one on the right's a little bit more of a thrower and get a beam out there further for you if you're sort of spotting stuff. But everyday use, working on the car or that sort of thing, the one on the left probably the way to go. But this helped you out at all, just please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.